Now it's time to get the inside scoop on all the electricity going on in Mississippi Thunder Speedway. It's time for Thunder Talk with Dan Bailey, brought to you by Jailhouse Saloon. Now, here's your host, Dan Bailey.
Another week of Thunder Talk and another week of racing information. This Friday night is Fastenal night at Mississippi Thunder Speedway. I hope that all of you race fans will come over to Mississippi Thunder Speedway, not only for the on-track action, but also the off-track fun that Fastenal has planned for you. Ricky Stenhouse Jr.'s Monster Energy Cup car is going to be on display, give you an opportunity to get a visual differentiation between race cars that you might see on TV on the weekend versus the race cars that we love and enjoy seeing at Mississippi Thunder Speedway every Friday night. So again, that's this Friday, Fastenal night at Mississippi Thunder Speedway. Last Friday night, though, oh boy, what a show we had for you. The USMTS Spring Shootout presented by Coca-Cola, and it's always interesting when these USMTS traveling stars visit a track. The interesting point is to see how the quote-unquote local regulars will stack up against them. Well, this past Friday night, one of our own local regulars whooped the field, and that's none other than Brad Waits. Brad joins us this week on Thunder Talk. Brad, the first thing I have to say, congratulations on that USMTS win last Friday night.
Yeah, I appreciate it. When them guys come to town, you always got to be on your A game, that's for sure.
You know, I've heard drivers say that sometimes you have to drive different on a regular, Friday, Saturday night, as opposed to when these touring series come to town. I'm not saying it's dirty, maybe a little bit more physical. Have I heard that right? Do you ever experience it that way?
Yeah, they're definitely not scared to put their cars in some predicaments at times. You gotta make sure you know where you're going, and I don't know. They're pretty easy on equipment because they don't want to work on their stuff either. But you definitely got to be up on the wheel.
So this was it'd been 4 years, I think, since you had won a USMTS event. However, in the meantime, you've been racking up weekly feature wins and even track championship at Mississippi Thunder Speedway. As a driver like you that's been at this for a while, how do you compare, a weekly Friday, Saturday night feature win versus one of these USMTS feature wins? Do you just put them all in the same bucket? Do you relish these high dollar events a little more than the regular weekly shows?
Oh, I don't know. Anybody up here is pretty competitive. That's why I always kind of chuckle when them guys come up here. We usually take some of their pay spots, because the people up here in this area are pretty darn good no matter where you go. So generally, when they travel down south, most of the top spots are kind of in their pay realm, but up here it's a little bit different at times.
Was there a point last Friday night? I asked Jake Tim the same question 2 weeks ago when he won that late model special event. I said, was there a point when you started thinking to yourself, hey, this show might be mine? How about you? You were able to jump from the front of the field and lead this one all 44 laps, but there was some stiff competition behind you. Was there a point Friday night when you thought, yeah, I'm pretty sure this one might be mine here?
Basically on the last lap, when I didn't see anybody there anymore, they were right there. I could see Gustin and O'Neill, underneath me basically every lap, and my car starts on restarts pretty good, so I was pretty happy with that. And 44 laps is a little longer than we're used to, so I was a little out of breath at the end of the thing. But no, basically about the last lap, I thought we had a pretty good restart on the last restart with 6 to go there, I think it was, and we were pretty good from there on out.
Another question that a race fan had told me to ask you when I said that I was going to be chatting with you this week on Thunder Talk is the scenario about what comes next. You've been at this for a while. You've enjoyed a lot of success here in the upper Midwest with your modified, and they were wondering, you talk about some guys like Steve Arpin, who went on to do some NASCAR racing on TV and is doing like rally cars now, I think, or Dustin Scott, who enjoyed a lot of success and now he's doing stadium trucks, or even if you look way back, someone like Ron Schreiner, who's doing asphalt pickup trucks down in the Arizona area. Have you ever thought this deep into your career? Have you ever thought about, maybe trying something else, or really just love these modifieds?
No, pretty content with what we're doing. I don't know, my pit guys, I've had the same 2 guys since we basically started racing, and I told them, basically as long as they want to do it, I'll keep doing it. But that was maybe the wrong thing to say, because I don't know, I think I've spent a couple retirements doing it, and I don't know, there's got to come a time where enough is enough.
The sport can be kind of fickle. It doesn't matter how long you've been behind the wheel or how much success you've had, and it kind of showed up this weekend. Friday night you got yourself a feature win, Saturday night up at Deer Creek, kind of middle of the pack. Not that you were running bad, it's just you just couldn't quite get to the front of the field.
Well, we changed a couple things on the car. I've been talking with Zach, when he thought I was maybe missing something, so I got some numbers from him and put it towards it, and it seems to fit. Mississippi Thunder better than it does Deer Creek, so I'm going to probably change a couple things and kind of go back a little more towards where I was at. If you can run up front or even make the show, I'm all about not being in the B features. I hate doing that. It's just hard on equipment, because we're always good enough to get in the show, but just don't like putting the extra laps and stuff on the motor and tires and fuel and because it's expensive.
Well, here we are getting into kind of the dog days of summer portion of the 2019 season. And then, of course, we'll have all those specials at the end of the year. Are you the type of racer who likes really to schedule your entire year in advance? You know where you're going every week that comes up? Or you just take them as they come and kind of make a decision Thursday, well, maybe this weekend we'll go over and try this track or we'll try this special event?
I just do it week to week. This weekend here coming up, I believe we'll be around for the Fastenal deal. And, the 4th of July weekend I know is a big weekend, but we're taking the Razor and going to Wisconsin and riding that thing because I got to get a break and clear your head once in a while too.
Yeah, racing's fun, but it's not something you can do every weekend, every day, right? It'll weigh down on you.
Oh, absolutely. And there's kids that are into it, and I ran hard when I first started doing it too. We ran 4 days a week. I actually didn't even have a job for years. We just raced full time. So
how has the USMTS series changed over the years? Has this touring series changed a bit since the USMTS first formed with Todd Staley behind the wheel and what we see on a weekly basis this year?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. When it first started, it was just kind of the local guys, the best of the best. The cream was always riding in top. And then, as the series got going on, they got some more recognition. And, then some of the oil money started getting into it. And their checkbooks are quite a bit deeper than us, and so basically we were coming to get second or third to Kelly Shryock and some of the people that were the king of the pile back then. And but some of them guys have moved on and gone to late model and done other things, and I don't know, pretty satisfied with what we're doing and still be able to compete at the level that we are for 30 plus years. So
you mentioned that some of your pit guys have been with you since the start, so you've got some good relationships. It seems like also your sponsor relationships have been pretty stable over the last few years. Pretty much the same groups of local and area businesses helping you out on that number 24.
Yeah, I got a lot of good people behind me, and it's just kind of crazy how some of the stuff has actually happened. The biggest one we got is Lloyd Speed Stop there in West Salem, the BP station. He's the primary sponsor. National Fleet Graphics out of Dot Center. They're really good people, do graphics on everything from NASA down to garbage trucks and, snowmobiles and anything in between, boats and rafts. And Sunshine Sanitation, Tori Keefe there in Stewartville. He's been a longtime friend. Minnesota Metals, they make the garage door components, hinges and whatnot, fasteners. And so we got Weir's Machine out of Bangor there. Chad and I have been friends forever and ever. And we got the Gaslight Bar and Grill now this year. What else we got going? Kick-Ass Beef Jerky. They've been on board for a few years. Just good group of people to be around. We're not scared to have a beverage with them, and they take the good with the bad, too.
Well, they had a lot of good this past Friday night, including that USMTS $3,000 to win Spring Shootout presented by Coca-Cola main event win. Brad, we appreciate you joining us this week on Thunder Talk. Congratulations on your win last Friday night, and we will see you next time at Mississippi Thunder Speedway.
Yep, sounds good. I appreciate it.
Race fans, again, this Friday night, Fastenal night. Come out for the dirt track action. Enjoy some of the fun fan activities that are planned for you by the folks at Fastenal. And, of course, don't forget to check out the official Mississippi Thunder Speedway website for the entire 2019 schedule so that you can plan your entire family-friendly outings on Friday nights at Mississippi Thunder Speedway. For those of you listening on the radio, the entire interview with Mr. Waits will be posted to the Mississippi Thunder Speedway YouTube channel. Make sure you check it out.
Come on down to the Jailhouse Saloon. Yeah, come on down to the Jailhouse Saloon.
The Jailhouse Saloon is where everyone wants to do time. Come on in and nab up some of the best homemade pizza around. The Jailhouse has happy hour weekdays from 2 until 6, free pool on Mondays, and lunch every day at a great price.
The Jailhouse Saloon, where